Hi, I'm Capri. And today I'm job shadowing my dad, and today he's going to tell you about the top 14 call verified leads websites.
Nice. Good job.
Darn.
All right. So Capri, she asked to job shadow me for school today. So she's learning all about internet marketing and writing content and things like that. And she actually made this little image right here on Canva. So she did a really good job. I'm teaching her how the modern world works. But I'm going to just kind of walk through this article right here. The original article I wrote maybe 2 years ago, and I figured it's time for an update. And what I didn't have last time is I didn't actually list any of the actual websites. I just kind of like gave some basic content around what are call verified franchise leads basically. So I wanted to dive in a little bit more here. So I'm going to click on some of these different ones and walk through what I think are the top 14 websites out there for call verified leads. And the difference is, like, for what we do at Lead PPC is we basically, we're an ad agency, so we do Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, those types of advertisements for franchisors. We have worked with over 200 franchisors over the last 13 years. And yeah, it's a space that we feel like we know really well. I used to be a chief marketing officer for a franchise system out of Southern California called Human Healthy Vending. Saw that there was a huge need for quality leads. But one of the things that we do get phone calls about is call verified leads, which is not a service that we directly provide, although some of our clients do use other services to verify those leads. But I want to talk about other vendors that are out there that are not us. Of course, we'd love to talk with you anyway if you have lead needs of any kind. But I wanted to kind of give a shout out to some other groups out there, especially if you're like a franchise broker, because we don't service those either. We're a pretty niche industry agency. So the first one I would say is Fifth Avenue Leads. And I'll click through on some of these. I'm actually going to jump out of that view. But Fifth Avenue, I would say these guys are, you hear about them a lot. Like if you're at conferences and what have you, lots of people will talk about Fifth Avenue Leads. I think that they're the strongest provider that's out there. And if you're looking for call verified leads, I'd probably start here because they do have a really good reputation. The second one is going to be Prospect Direct. These guys are out of Dallas, Texas, which is where I'm out of. Right now we live in Spanish Fork, Utah, but originally from Dallas, Texas, Richardson High School. But if you go here, I think they have a really clean setup, a good service offering. Their list of clients is really, really big. I'd say that you'll see a lot of restaurant brands, Carl's Jr., Qdoba, Mr. Gatti's Pizza, Wendy's, all these kind of teriyaki madness. So I think that they do a good job with restaurant leads. I think that there's some home service brands that they do, and I think that these guys are really kind of doing a good job, and probably another good one to reach out to, especially if you're a franchisor. The next one I put is going to be, let's see, phone verified franchise leads, which is pretty specific. This isn't a group that I really knew a ton about, but they have some pretty cool angles. I like their pricing actually. It's like $2,000 for 90 days. You get one lead a day. It's not going to be great for big franchisors or for people that are used to going through a lot of leads, but if you are a consultant, it ends up being, I did the math on it, it ends up being like 22 days times 3 months is about $30 a lead, which for a call verified lead is really good. I mean, that's our average cost per lead all time across all of our brands is about $32 a lead. So $30 for a call verified lead. Granted, it's not a huge scale, but it's probably worth taking a look at. I don't know much about the quality of it, but yeah, could be a good one. Um, the next one we've got here I have is izmoLeads. So I'm going to bring up their site. I think they also have a pretty clean site here. They are really focused on franchise lead generation, which I think is good. And let's see, a couple things that I liked about them. They kind of break down what their process is. I'd say that they're a bit of a hybrid between like an ad agency and a call verify group. And they use a lot of marketing automation. I'm not sure if they use like, I'm not sure what system they use on the back end for it, whether it's something like Marketo or Infusionsoft or something like that. I'm really not sure. But they do 7 call attempts. They do calls, emails, voicemails, texts, and they do it at different times of the day. And they've been doing it for 13 years. So I was impressed with them. I think that would be a good one to look at. Callverifiedleads.com. This one is the name is a little bit kind of interesting because call verified leads could mean anything. It could mean lots of different industries, but they are focused on the franchising space specifically. You'll see that their partners are TES, FBA, FranChoice, FranNet, IFPG, Sunbelt. So I would say that they're based off their demographic, they're probably better fit for consultants. But if you're a consultant, you may already be receiving some of their leads through your broker network. So maybe if you're an independent consultant, it'd be worth reaching out to. Number 6 I have is executive leads or execleads.com. So let's bring that one up here. I think they have a clean website. One of the things that I really liked about it is how they show their pricing, which I'll get into in a second. But they also show gold, silver, and bronze. So they do tiered lead pricing and vetting basically based off of how much people have. So up front, it's not cheap. I showed one earlier that was $30 a lead. So their $30 lead is probably a $90 lead, and it's $234 per lead for the highest net worth, highest liquidity range. They didn't state what that is, but if you are a franchisor that, or maybe you're looking for, if you're a franchisor and you're looking for master franchisees, or your the cost of your franchise system is expensive, not $100,000 plus, but $250,000 to $1 million plus, maybe trampoline park or something like that, or some type of salon suite franchise, then that might be a one to take a look at. I will say that if you're trying to get like a $5,000 cost per sale and each lead is $234, then you have to close 1 out of 20, which would be incredibly hard to do, I think, in general. So just kind of keep that in mind. The next one, Mercury Roads. These guys have been around for a long time. You can kind of tell from their website. They should update this because Adobe Flash Player not working is not that sweet. But when you get into the About Us section, they do state on here that they have well over 500 clients. So that I'd say that's significant. That you would have to be around for a really long time in order to generate, to have that many clients and that much experience. So probably a good one to reach out to, and even a phone call you'd probably learn a lot from it. Number 8, franchiseconsultantleads.com. This one is going to be a specialist one. So it's only for franchise consultants. Maybe if you're a franchisor, you could also talk to them and see kind of what they have to say. But I like some little things that they have in here, like how you can if they have discovery days, then you can pause your leads, or if you're going to take a vacation or something like that, you can pause your leads. And one thing I thought that was really unique that a lot of groups don't do is they have an order now button, which makes a big difference. So It's not cheap, $3,125 for 25 leads. I'd say that's not super cheap. That's like $125 per lead. But they are verified, and if you're a consultant and you're tired of just calling tire kicker leads, maybe it's worth talking with them. Number 9 I have in here is Uplead, and this is a group that is not just in the franchising space. They are in a couple different areas: B2B, real estate, travel, mortgage, auto loans. But they do have some experience with franchising, and they're a larger business. So if you're not wanting to do business with like a mom and pop shop type of a thing, then might be worth reaching out to them. The next one is a kind of a hybrid marketing agency. So these are franchise broker leads for consultants. Again, it's not a service that we do working with brokers. We mainly work with just franchisors, and we used to only do franchise development lead generation, but over the last, I'd say, 4 or 5 years, we've really expanded into the consumer side as well. So after groups are bringing on a lot of franchisees, we will help the advertising for those locations as well. But with these guys, they do a lot of agency stuff. You'll see at the bottom of their site, they have some SEO magic they're doing here for franchise SEO Dallas company. I don't think these keywords are that sweet, that they're kind of going after franchise PPC services maybe. But they do, some agency stuff, but they also do some type of lead qualifying, built-in CRM systems, a lot of like homegrown software type of stuff, it seems like. And they have no long-term commitments, so kind of interesting. Franchiseleads.org. Actually, I'm going to jump up real quick, because one thing I did notice with Fifth Avenue, and I kind of stated this on here, they have 2 other sites that I literally thought were other companies till I did more research on them. Like this one, Franchise Leads Now. It looks like a totally different company, but it's one of those old school mini sites, because if you go to contact us, it literally says Fifth Avenue Leads. So I think that Fifth Avenue has 3 of the top like 15 spots for call verified franchise leads. If you're doing searches, another one is best franchise leads, best franchise sales leads. So it's, obviously they're going after very specific keywords. But if you go to contact us again, it's still Fifth Avenue Leads. I think this was built a long time ago. It's not my favorite strategy, but I can, see why they would do that, or at least keep them up. Let's see. Next one, franchiseleads.org. With this one, let's see. I'm going to go back to my notes on them. So this is the one that has different regions. So they have 5 different regions in the United States, and what's unique about them is they pull from 25 different portals. So they're buying leads from like Franchise Gator, Franchise Direct, different groups like that, aggregating them, calling them, and then going to you after that. So they're kind of like a value add to a franchise portal, which, yeah, what I don't know is how many times those leads get resold, but maybe it's just once. I don't know. Executive franchise leads is going to be the next one. Kind of the old school photo, stock photo looking stuff here. I just kind of found it similar to most of the groups that are out there. They do have geo-targeting that goes down to state, country, zip code level, and they've been around since 2004. And the last one I have is Vziom. And these guys are not just specifically in the franchising space, which is why I put them pretty low on there. But they do have like franchise buyer leads, and worth mentioning, they do have, they say proven verified leads and that they're done manually. It didn't say call verified specifically, but that's kind of what they're kind of saying. I think they really just use software to verify them through like text messages and emails and whatever. But maybe they call them as well. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, I don't think a lot of people would do a video like this, because in some ways these are I guess you could say, competitors for franchise lead generation. But we have a very specific clientele, and we try to direct other people that aren't going to engage with us to other groups that we feel like have potentially some legs, specifically franchise brokers, just because about half the leads that we get that come to our website are franchise brokers, consultants that are looking for leads, and we don't have a service for them. So this is a good resource to kind of point them to look at other options. If you are a franchise broker, would love to hop on a call. Or sorry, if you are if you are a franchisor and you're looking for franchisees and you need more leads, or you're a director of franchising or something like that, would love to talk with you, see if we're maybe a good fit for what you guys are trying to do. We consider ourselves to be the best pay-per-click ad agency in franchising with the most experience. We're good at most of the different industries that are out there, the sub niches, just because we've been doing it for so long. So anything from restaurant stuff to home services to, we figured out education, we figured out most of the different niche markets that are out there we have experience in, and can kind of reference what to look at as far as cost per lead. And I mean, you never know until you're really running the ads, but we do have a lot of data from past clients. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to leave a comment, and yeah, would love to talk to you. Thanks so much.